Hey guys, it's Zoe here, and I have cancer. I know that's a bit weird to just pop in after being gone for I don't even know how long now, just to say I have cancer. Uh, but I've been very busy. I started my master's in emerging media design and development. Had a lot of fun learning like Unity, the amazing guy, and we got married last September. So that, of course, having a great, fulfilling relationship will also take away your time. But unfortunately, I was due to finish up my master's this spring, and that's all been put on pause as I have recently been diagnosed with cancer. And this is my little stuffed cancer red panda. Began as my honeymoon panda we got at the zoo, and then has been with me throughout this very short journey so far, actually. So I have been diagnosed with Non-Hodgkin's B-Cell Lymphoma. It is thankfully very treatable. If you're gonna have cancer, like Hank Green put it, if you're gonna have cancer, lymphoma is a good one to have. We do have different cancers for like fraternal twins. I'm Zoe Green. Hank Green had Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So my particular cancer is very aggressive. It spread very, very quickly. So it's a blood cancer, which means it starts in the blood and then it can easily go into other organs. So I am stage 4 because it is in my liver, it is in my bowels, it is in my spine, and gallbladder. And I believe we're still doing some more scans to see where all it is, but the first noticeable one was my liver. I've learned a lot just in this very short process. On December 23rd of last year, I went and I got my blood drawn, and my liver levels were very high. And the day after that, I went to get my blood drawn in the first place because I had leg pain. It was not about my liver or anything. I just had leg pain. I mentioned a little bit that I had pressure in my upper abdominal, that I had pressure, and I was taking Pepto-Bismol because I thought it was gas, and I thought I was getting lightheaded, especially after the shower. But it was offhand, and it didn't seem important in that moment. The day after I got my blood drawn, my upper abdominal pain got worse. I was struggling to get up. I was struggling to sit down. Doing anything was very, very exhausting. And this is of course happening over my winter break, right before going back to start my last semester of my master's. So a little disappointing because I'm like, oh, I'm wasting my last break doing nothing. But I was very exhausted and couldn't do anything. And then by Christmas, again, the abdominal pain got worse, and it all just kept getting worse. The abdominal pain got so bad, I was crying, I could not sleep, I couldn't eat because I was in so much pain. I got an ultrasound very quickly after the blood was drawn, and that was the Friday after Christmas. The ultrasound did not look good. I just recently rewatched Hank Green's diagnosis video, and he has a line where it's like, when doctors are moving quickly, you're kind of weirded out, because that's not, like, you'd like them to move quickly, that would be great, but usually in the United States, healthcare, we move slow, and everything was moving very quickly for me. So as soon as my blood was drawn and they got my everything back, my doctor personally called me and said, do you want to go to the ER or do you want to go to an ultrasound? I was still walking, not well, but I was still walking. So I said, let's go to the ultrasound, because I didn't really understand why did I have to go to the ER. The ultrasound technician was like, oh, how are you doing? And then by the end of the ultrasound was like, do you need help getting up? And still at that point, I didn't know I had cancer. I just knew something was wrong with my liver. Then I found out that my liver had, to quote, too many lesions to count. Then it became too many masses to count. So for a while, we had a lot of concerns that I would have to have surgery on my liver, that something was really wrong with my liver for sure, just because of the ultrasounds and all that. I went for an MRI, again, showed a lot of lesions and masses in my liver. My liver is not doing good. I was turning yellow, not looking great, and then I had another MRI with contrast so they could better look, and that is when they learned that it was cancer, but they were still unsure what type of cancer. So I had to go back for a biopsy. Thankfully, they were able to find a biopsy in my back that they could do. They could pull some cell and tissues from my back, because it is in my spine, because they were unable to do a biopsy in my liver because there were all those lesions and masses. To do that would cause internal bleeding, could potentially cause internal bleeding. So they did not want to run that risk. So I got the biopsy done on my back, and thankfully they called back, and it's lymphoma. And hearing that news, it sucks. It's cancer. Cancer is not good. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but out of all the cancers to have, lymphoma is very treatable, and I'm very fortunate to have lymphoma instead of any other type of cancer. And my team is very, very good. They're very knowledgeable. In order to treat lymphoma, there's pretty standard procedures. There's a lot that is available for me, and I'm very, very grateful for that. So I then started on Monday with immunotherapy, because they need my liver and kidneys to be good enough to be able to take treatment, the chemotherapy. So they have to get that down. And thankfully, that is going very well. My bilirubin is down. It went from 12 to 5, which is huge, just with the one treatment. And that will keep going down, thankfully. My skin already is looking a lot better. I was very, very yellow. I was also very hot. If you know me, I'm cold. I'm always cold. So being hot is not normal for me. And I was hot. I was burning hot. Just upper body so hot. And I had to have ice packs. Anytime they did anything with my biopsy, they had ice packs on my ankles, everywhere, to try and cool me off. So I'm beginning to feel cold again, which is huge. And then I have done labs this week. My least favorite thing, I don't like getting my blood drawn. I don't like needles. I don't like surgery. This is my nightmare. This is not something I would have ever, no one wants cancer, but I haven't got my wisdom teeth removed because I'm scared of surgery. So this has been not fun for me, but one of the things I had to do this morning was to get my chemo port put in. That's up here. They've been drawing a lot of blood and giving me a lot of fluids through my veins. I think I've had 7 pokes on one arm, 6 on another, 2 on my hand, and obviously when chemo starts they want an easy way to access. So they gave me a chemo port, and that required surgery this morning. They put me to sleep. I like that. I don't remember any of it, and that was wonderful. So that went smoothly, but I am sore right now up here. So that was for my chemo port. And then I will be starting chemo on Friday with my spine, and then continuing into the next week. After my PET scan, I will start actual chemo. And it's not going to be fun, Chemotherapy is not fun. I already had to drop out of my last semester of my master's. I'll have to come back to it later. I can't do anything. If you have any TV show recommendations, we're just now finishing up Ted Lasso. My husband has been wonderful. The greatest support. My rock throughout this whole thing. He's been taking care of me. He He's been so loving and kind throughout this whole process. He's made me feel strong when I feel weak, and has done a great job, especially advocating for myself when he knows I don't like any of this. But my wonderful husband has been with me throughout this. He has taken leave from his work to be able to care for me, and I'm very, very grateful, because without him here, just anybody other than him trying to take care of me through this would be very, very difficult for me. I'm not someone who likes touch, and there's a lot of touching going on to be able to get me from here to the wheelchair to the bathroom, because I currently am struggling to walk. I'm too weak to walk, and once chemotherapy starts, I will continue to feel sick in other ways. Thankfully, the pain from the liver and everything should feel better soon, but the actual treatment of chemo is going to continue to make me fatigue, make me feel sick, nauseous. It's not going to be easy, but I'm glad to be starting towards treatment, to getting this out of me, to fighting to get through it. So I hope that I've kind of explained some of my journey. I want to continue to get you guys updated about this. I don't have much else to do other than to update you. If you have any TV show recommendations, we just got through Ted Lasso. We're about to finish that up. Great TV show. Something like that. Something that's kind of happy, not too hard-hitting, that we can just put on to forget about all this. Because a lot of TV shows are a little gory or sad, and we need something uplifting. So if you have any recommendations, that would be great. And then if you can in any way, support us through our GoFundMe. As I mentioned, my husband is taking leave, so he has his job secured, but no money. He doesn't get paid during that time, and obviously I was a student, so I don't have money coming in. So any way you can support financially is wonderful, but if you can't support financially, just sharing my story. One big thing that I am learning throughout this process is to go to the doctor, and I beat myself up and I call myself weak. I say that it's nothing, get over it and move on. And it's not nothing. If you're lightheaded, sit down, think about it. How long have you had these symptoms? Because looking back now, I was lightheaded for quite a while on and off before my liver got hurt, and I told myself I was being lazy. My first week on break, I did nothing. I barely could. I was trying to put birthday decorations up, and it took me 4 hours, and I beat myself up over it because I was like, why would decorating the house take so long? And it turns out I had cancer. So if you're going to advocate anything, remind yourself that you are okay. It is okay to take breaks. You do not have to beat yourself up or call yourself lazy. And then just learn about lymphoma, and a lot of cancers, you don't show symptoms. I did show symptoms because of how aggressive my cancer was, but a lot of them you don't show symptoms. Sometimes you don't show symptoms at all. So just keep that in mind. But sharing my story, links are all down below. Feel free to follow me on Instagram or on Facebook to learn more. My husband will be updating the GoFundMe with updates, so check that out. And then I'm going to try and do some video updates, just to give myself something to do, because I do like video editing, and I thought that might be a fun thing for me to bring back, as I'm currently stuck doing nothing but survival. So that's it for today. That's it for this video. Till next video, stay awesome.
Zoe, the